What are you doing?
I think we have a dead kiwi. Like, they're supposed to be the most hardy of all these tropics, and I'm just looking at it, and it's like flipping dead. No, it's alive! It's alive. Zoom in right there, right now. It's alive. It's alive. So here at the Manti greenhouse, we grow kiwi. It's alive, and holy cow, we gotta see if the pollinator's alive. Hold on. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Let's build another greenhouse. I thought they were dead.
I thought they were dead.
They look dead. No, it's alive. Look at that. That's proof. It's proof. It's amazing. Like, even though I grew up in Utah, like, we know how to do citrus well. Here's the man. It's alive. Boom, bud. Those are new. Because I looked the other day, and that's why I was in depression, because I thought they were dead. Welcome back to the channel. It is snow day. We got 4 inches, which it seems like a lot more. But you know what? It's only 4. Anyway, I am excited to just share a couple of thoughts on what does a prepper look like. So stay with me and let's have a discussion. On it, scoot back as far as you can so you can get it. Okay.
Okay, about right here.
Yeah, and get over there more so you can kind of see. There you go. So can you see me up here?
Yeah, if I'm tilting it.
Okay. And if I come down here, can you follow me down here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll hopefully go inside the greenhouse in this video and just show you how the plants are responding. I don't understand it because we're only like maybe 7 degrees on average of warmer temperatures for those lows, but all the plants are responding. Like, the growth is already happening and it's so exciting. Q-tip. She doesn't like me any more than I like her. What does a prepper look like? So we'll get into that. But first of all, you better like and subscribe because I'm actually having to pay money on this video. I've got Bryce helping me. It's the middle of the night. We're in our storage shed. My wife doesn't know where her boy's at, nor her husband. But we wanted to get a little message out to you because this weekend we're going to go watch some state basketball. And so if this video is going to happen, it's going to happen right now. All right. The middle of February, what are we going to go do, Keisha? Huh? Do you know? Bryce, what are we going to go do?
Don't ask me.
We're going to go eat some peas. Some February peas, if you please.
Yeah.
Who's your daddy?
You.
Thank you.
We're going to the store.
We're not going to the store. We're going to the greenhouse. All right. So in the height of the pandemic, the health crisis that was the last 3 years, the very first thing that really hit as far as a panic was toilet paper. Do you remember that? Everybody was flipping out. I mean, it was just the most important thing you could do was to go to Walmart and get some toilet paper. And I remember watching this from afar, and I remember going to Walmart, and it was like the middle of the day, and I was just noticing people in the parking lot. I was like totally people watching. And this guy came in, and he's probably in his like early 50s, but a fit 50-year-old guy, you know, bald head. He had on kind of a tight shirt, and this would have been probably toward the end of March, you know, so it was still kind of cold outside, but he wasn't wearing a coat because he was a big deal. And he had on these army fatigues, so big old boots, you know, and camouflage pants. I'm pretty sure his shirt was tucked in. He had a belt, and he just marching into that Walmart. And I kind of watched him in the store like a creeper. And you know what he was there to get? He was there to get toilet paper. and I just remember looking at that thinking, oh my gosh, like the most important task. You know, I'm like, where did this guy come from? You know, he probably came up from some of our mountainous areas where a lot of, the really serious homestead prepper people are at. And he came and he was on a mission to buy toilet paper. And I thought, okay, there is a prepper, right? And I think that we all have a caricature, an exaggeration of what's a prepper. Now, is that guy a prepper? Yeah. Am I a prepper? Well, yeah, I told you, to me, that's a badge of honor. Yeah, I'm a prepper. Dang straight, I'm a prepper. But is that what a prepper looks like? Are all preppers male? Of course not. That's silly. But what is a prepper? Who is a prepper? What does a prepper look like? And I kind of wanted to just dispel a little bit of the notions of who preppers are and who they aren't. I purposely came in here by one of my several antique sewing machines. Look at this thing. I mean, this one is definitely one of my favorite because it is just it's a Singer sewing machine, but it looks like it came straight from Egypt. It's just got, there's even a Sphinx here. It's just got all this cool lettering and tooling. And I love it. I collect old things. Go ahead, make fun of me. This is what I do. I love it. I think I've got 4 old sewing machines. And there's a couple of reasons. One is I am a collector. You'll get the gist. I'll show you the things that I collect. I think I've got 4 sewing machines because I am a collector. But main reason is probably because I'm a prepper. Now, do I have any desire whatsoever to learn how to sew? No, I won't. It's not beneath me, don't get me wrong. But for me to become proficient, to understand how to sew, to understand the art of sewing a straight line, is something I don't have time to do. Not I don't have time that it's beneath me. I have time and I'm focusing on other talents that I do have. Sewing is not one. But I'll tell you what I do feel very passionate about, something you could even say prompted to do, something that I am absolutely going to work on before we get into the summer, is I am going to go and inventory my sewing machines that I love because they're flipping collection amazing things. I'm going to go and I'm going to inventory all the parts, the needles, the bobbins. You probably can't see. Can you see this, Bryce? Mm-hmm. So they have these little belts so that you can actually actuate the sewing machine, by pedaling on it. And so I'm going to get all of these bad boys up and running. And then I'm actually going to go and collect thread. And I'm going to collect the bobbins and the spools and whatever they're called. All the parts, the guts, the pieces. Why? Nate, why would you do that? You just said you don't want to sew. In a grid down situation, if you could just allow your mind to expand on what services and goods and needs are you going to have? Let's say the store was not open and the trucks weren't coming delivering, all of your cheap Walmart clothing that lasts for about 5 months and then wear out. Are you going to need to mend those clothes a little bit? Yeah. Do you know how? I don't. So you probably do. Is this art of sewing, is this something that would be important to you in a situation where the stores are closed and you had to make your clothing last? You had to actually mend your pants or the sleeves in your shirts instead of throw them away. I think that somebody that had this art would be amongst the most valuable people in a community that was learning how to survive. So the prepper who is running this machine does not look like me at all. I think about the few people around me that would know how to use this. My mom, she would know how. Is my mom a prepper? My mom is a very just beautiful and classy lady. And, she taught at a college. She was a professor, actually an English professor, which is funny because I know my grammar's horrible. My mind goes too fast to kind of correct my speech. So when people see her, they see somebody that's very done up and very, just like I say, classy. That's the word you would see. But you know what me and my brother see and my mom? We see one of the absolute most thrifty, hardworking, wonderful people ever. I mean, you see some of the projects I've done around the homestead. My work ethic came from my mama. My mama is a prepper. She would never consider herself one, but she's a prepper in and of the sense that she has skill sets that most people don't. Not just because she knows how to work, not just because she probably knows how to use a Singer sewing machine. My mom knows how to bottle. She knows how to garden, and she's got her head on straight. So you think about those skills. Not all preppers look like this. Not all preppers look like the guy dressed in army fatigues going to Walmart to buy some toilet paper. The Kiwis lived. Now, here, give me that. The thing is over here on this side, where's the Kiwi at? Further? Oh. So we have the Kiwi that would be right here by the glazing. And so you just think that it would be like all trash, but no, look at that.
Lettuce protected it.
What the heck? So it's like all showing off, like flipping, strutting its stuff. So that's why I thought the other one was dead, because it wasn't doing as good as this. Look at that.
I know. Don't you think this protected it?
I mean, the very next thing we're going to have flipping kiwis on there, because that leaf is about 3/4 of an inch long. The kiwis get to be, I think, about 20 feet, the vine. So that'll be exciting, because that will be part of the summer shade canopy. And I know it's only mid-February, but boy, the sun is intense. And we are noticing a significant amount of growth starting just this last week. It's really exciting. I think of one of my neighbors. She lives just very close to us, and she's in her 90s. And she told me about how raising her kids, and I think she said she had 10 kids in her family. So her children are in their like late 70s. She's still sharp as a tack, and she's one of the most interesting people I've ever talked to. I love it when I talk to her. It's a privilege when I talk with her. And she tells me about how they raised enough food in their garden and how they bottled and canned all through the summer, and that they sustained their family's needs all through the winter. That's a prepper. We do not know those old ways. So I want you to do me a favor. I want you to share this video with maybe some of the older people in your life. Maybe it's your parents, or if you are of an older age, maybe it's with a friend. Because if we go into situations where society continues to kind of collapse and it starts to get more and more scary, like, oh my word, this thing's falling apart, what's going to happen? I want to remind those people with the skill sets, with the knowledge up here, and with that practical experience of their childhood. Or maybe it's someone that's maybe not quite that old. Maybe it's your parents are in their 60s, but they remember stories from their mom and dad about what it was like to grow up in the Depression. You know, those stories shared with posterity is probably amongst the most valuable information we could be getting right now. I know we've got YouTube. I get it. We can just go find it on YouTube. What if YouTube went out? What if the power went out? You know, I just saw another headline, scary headline, that quite a few days ago, there was another cyber attack on, I believe it was Dole food processing. You know, Dole makes a lot of canned food and perishable items for the country. It's a big deal. So they sent out this memo, hey, we're down, we're hacked. So these hackers came in and they demanded ransomware before they would give them back their software, before they could retain operations. And I don't think it was down a tremendous long time. The point here is that it was down. And they had to shut down operations because of a cyber attack. Well, what happens if that cyber attack is on the grid? What happens if a temporary grid cyber attack melts down a portion of our grid, fries some transformers, and we have the power out for a week or a month, or let's say it's a year? Oh, Nate, that's pretty negative. Is it? I think all of us who are average folks living average lives in a wonderful life are starting to maybe perk our eyebrows out just a little bit, up a little bit. We realize things are happening. And these things that maybe we wouldn't allow our brains to contemplate suddenly are on a lot of people's minds. You know, and it's probably on the minds of your parents or some of the older people in your life. And I'll just say this, if I had to pick a team of people I wanted around me, a lot of my team who I would want to be in my immediate circle of survival friends would absolutely be those of age because of what they have up here. A prepper is not just someone fit who can lift toilet paper in Walmart. A prepper looks a lot like our family. I believe it. I totally believe it. I hope this is a message that you will share. Now, if for those of you who are a little bit older in age, I want you to do what my mom has done many times, where she sat us down and she's tried to talk to her bull-headed children, me included, about, guys, let's think of a family plan. My mom also many times for Christmas, would buy us prep items, water barrels, or sometimes even just outright food storage, flashlights, whatever is on her mind. A lot of people aren't ready to think this way. But I think a lot of you with some experience and wisdom behind you are ready. And you might just be the one who's going to wake up us younger folks. And I mean, I'm getting old too, so I need to wake up the younger folks. I need to get my kids involved. How can you get your children and your grandchildren engaged? I think the time is now to get engaged. Do it in a thoughtful way and a way without panic. Because if we just do small and simple things, then we can make a big amount of progress. For me, I've got my task. And if I don't have my sewing machines inventoried and the parts and pieces and bobbins required to make them all functional by this summer, I want each one of you to haunt me in the comments, okay? That's just my thought. It might sound simple, but I think it's one of the most important things that you can be doing on your homestead. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for joining the channel. Okay, last question, Becca. When are we going to get artichokes? Because this thing is beautiful and worthless.
Someone told me they'll look for 3 years.
3 years? It's shading my avocado. Like, I seriously am going to cut it down, except it's beautiful.
I did clean it back a little. Should we go more?
No. It's a showboat. I just want to eat off of it now.